Good morning. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my life. Welcome to my kiddo saying hi. We have some big news. What you want to get in it?
Yeah.
What's our big news?
We're moving to Thailand.
We're moving to Thailand. That's right.
And I just made this.
And she just made this. So, this channel is going to be a little bit different than most people moving to Thailand. So I'm going to get into it. I'm going to get into the when, where, why, how. But most importantly, welcome to the channel. I'm going to document it all and share my story and why and how we as a family, my wife and kid, are moving to Thailand. Welcome to Family Ties. So yes, welcome to the channel, Family Ties. The name of the channel, I guess we'll get into a little bit because it also ties into why we're moving back. I myself grew up in Bangkok, well, a suburb of Bangkok, and I went to international school, middle school and high school. And, since I graduated college and high school for that, matter, I have not been back a ton. But it's always been on my mind that I want to live there. It's kind of been my home. It's been the longest place that I've ever lived in one particular city in my life. And for that reason, I've gone on, I've created businesses, I've just lived my life and started a family. And I've always had that feeling that Thailand is my home and that I want to be back in Thailand. And so that's the main reason. I'm sure we can get into more of it, but that's one of the big whys. And I'm going to get into another why in a moment. Okay, so that's one of the big whys is I'm from there and I kind of consider it home. Another big why is just life in general. What I do for work, I buy and sell companies. Small companies, sub $5 million companies, sub $10 million companies. And it's very stressful. And every time we buy a new company, we're learning a new sector. And so, we've always had this number in our mind of what we need in order to retire. And to be honest, it's a really big number. And so with all the stress that we have, I guess, undergone over the last few years, we're all just kind of wondering why, what's worth it? Oh, by the way, another why, oh my goodness, this is why, weather. I'm in Denver, Colorado, and some of you in Thailand may miss this weather. Not me. I'm ready to get out of the snow, back to the tropical weather. That's huge. But stress in general here in the States is completely different than stress in Thailand. Part of it is just the attitude and the way of life here. It's very, very go, 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 and a different kind of go, 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 go. It's hustle and bustle in Bangkok, but it's more of a heartbeat bustle, whereas here it's more of a go to work and work hard and everything else comes second. At least that's our experience and that's our life here. So that gets very taxing, and we have really just reassessed what we want in our lives, and part of it is we want to spend more time with our daughter. Working 7 days a week in the busy seasons and doing 12-hour days. Which is what my wife does right now. It's not functional. It's not going to be sustainable. So we've really kind of been thinking about life changes and what we want in our life. And, the life is short. So that's a big, big motivating factor as to why Thailand. It's just a different way of life. Now, a lot of adjustments are going to be made, especially on my wife's side and kids' side. I took them there for a visit. So a little backstory. My wife is Vietnamese American. She grew up here since she was, three or four. And it's funny because I always make fun of her and tell her I'm more Asian than she is. I mean, she's very American. So going to Bangkok, and she's never even been back to Vietnam to visit because she was anti-communist party. But going back to Southeast Asia and showing my family, a year ago in 2023, what Thailand was like, it was a complete culture shock. Bangkok was to be frank, a little too busy for her. And that is the city that we're moving to. So that's something that we're going to have to contend with. And she's going to, we are going to, as a family, have to get used to it because we are in this very quiet neighborhood. We've got a lake. We've got, just big roads, open roads. It is beautiful, the life that we have here. And we're going to be trading a lot off for a simpler work-life balance. I've sold the Lamborghini. I've got the 24 Z06. We've got all the cars that we have, and this huge 6,000 square foot house. I'm not saying that to brag, but what I am trying to document is this is going to be a big life adjustment because we're probably going to go from this vastness to very small area condo, and we probably will do a luxury condo in Bangkok, and I'll get into the budget and break that down. And for you, I think I'm estimating we can live on about $100,000 a year. That would include sending our kiddo to private school, which is a big, hefty payment. She goes to private school now, so we're kind of used to it. But the private school she goes to here in Denver is actually pretty affordable comparatively to the one that we want to send her to in Bangkok. So there's a budget there, but we'll save in so many other ways. And we do figure that our spending habits will decrease by more than 50% because we spend quite a bit here in the States. And so it will be a net gain for us. And it'll put us in a position to where our assets, instead of buying and selling businesses, we'll probably transfer those over to real estate. And I do some consulting as well. So I don't think I'm going to fully retire. I think I'm 42 years old and I just don't have that in me to fully retire. But we will be financially free, and I'll continue doing some consulting for mergers and acquisitions and things of that sort in Thailand. So I know I unloaded a ton of information, but all that to say that I have multiple YouTube channels. I think you guys should subscribe because I promise the content will be worth it. And for me, it's a bit of a different angle. We have a family, and I know that there are other families that are moving to Bangkok and are moving to Thailand. And the question is Bangkok, specifically Thailand, but is Bangkok and Thailand family orientated? Can it be a successful family unit in such a wild and crazy place where the traffic is crazy and a little dangerous? I feel right at home and safe in Bangkok, but growing up in Bangkok, I truly did have, looking back, some very scary experiences, like nightmare experiences. I won't get into all the negatives because any big city has them, and you need to watch yourself. And so those things are on my mind, but those things can easily happen here in Denver as well. So we are excited. We are, ecstatic. For me personally, I moved away from Thailand. Let me say this. I moved away. I was in middle school, and I moved away from Thailand for my freshman year in high school. And I was sick to my stomach. I had never been sick to my stomach. Every day I was a little depressed. It was a culture shock moving back to the States, actually, because I had embedded such good friendship with all my classmates, and the way of life there, it spoke to my soul. And so we moved to Houston at the time. It was just different and not the same, and in a bad way. There were positives, don't get me wrong, but a year later when my mom told me we were moving back to Bangkok, honestly, I can't think of a time in my life where I had such a drastic change that made me so happy. It's up there with having a kid and experiencing that love with the kid, getting married. But my joy was probably, it's a different kind of joy, and it's probably something that I'll never experience again until now. So it's always been in the back of my mind. So let me explain the win. It is not right away. We own a couple of businesses that we need to either sell and we own this house. We're already starting the process of downsizing. So we sold our Florida house. We have a couple businesses here. We've got a tax and accounting firm. I have a facility management company. And you know, it's not going to be right away. In fact, the goal is 4 years from now. So it is a ways, and I get it that, you know, subscribing to this channel is a bit of an investment time-wise for you guys. But I think it's going to be well worth the journey, because in the interim, we're going to talk about what we're going to do in our lives in order to make this happen. In order to move to Thailand, we're going to visit Thailand, and we're going to document that. We're going to look at international schools. We've, you know, thrown around the idea of homeschooling. I think we're leaning away from that because we're not ready to fully retire. But I do think that subscribing to the channel is going to give a lot of value for people in my scenario that aren't ready to pull the trigger right away, but are doing it and have their sights on doing it. And so that's what this journey is going to be about. So subscribe, follow. It's going to be a hell of a ride, and I cannot wait to share more on the who's, whys, whens, wheres. I'll be putting out some videos here shortly. So, you know, join along, guys. Welcome to our lives. So this is a bit of what we're going to be giving up in Thailand. You know, we're just not going to have 6,000 square feet to be. Place is a little bit dirty right now, but my office is over there. Formal dining room in there. The basement is to die for. I'm going to miss this house, like, for sure. There's going to be things in the States that I miss. No doubt about that. My daughter built a fort that she will not let me take down. But, you know, I mean, things like this, we're going to miss. I'm hoping to substitute it with a luxury condo and, you know, have the foosball table, have just the pool table and the pools and all that stuff right at our condo so that we won't feel like we're missing out on luxuries. Here's our gym. I'm sure the gym at the condo is going to be much nicer. But the home is beautiful for sure. So, you know, we're going to miss it. But more than this, more than the things that we're going to miss the family. Family is going to be the biggest thing that we miss. So what we plan on doing is vacationing back in the States, you know, living there during the school year, and then during the hot months, getting away, coming back to the States, visiting family. I mean, both of our parents are about 76, you know, so there's only so many years that we have with them as well. So we want to, over the next 4 years, spend a lot of time with them. You know, God willing, they're going to live to be 100, 110, and that would be amazing. But, you know, we're realists, and we know that things happen. Both of our fathers have passed quite young. Our mom, you know, both of our mothers are very, very healthy, and so thank God for that. But again, it's something on our mind. You know, we're going to be leaving right at their end times, and so that's not something to be taken lightly. So we will be coming back, spending a couple of months every year here in the States. Anyways, I don't want to give you a tour of the entire place because it's a little messy, but just wanted to kind of document a little bit of what we are giving up in our house. Our house is, you know, we built this house, we paid it off. Part of what I'm going to be talking about is budget, and I'm not shy. I have another channel that talks about, you know, business and cars. I'm into exotic cars. I've owned every single car that you can think. When it comes to sports cars and exotic cars, I love it. So, you know, I'm not going to be having those in Thailand. Retirement's going to look a little bit different for us, but I think the quality of life will still be there. Can we go buy a nice luxury car there? Sure, we could. Will we? I'm not sure. I don't know if it's worth double that what we're paying here. So there's still some of that we got to work out. But I'll tell you one thing right now. One thing we're not going to miss is this. Frozen snow. Who knows? Maybe we will. Maybe I will miss it. Who knows? But here's the neighborhood. I mean, it is a beautiful neighborhood when it's sunny, and Denver can be 70 degrees in January. We take this path right down to the lake. It's about a 7-minute walk. We have a boat. We've got the boat, we've got the cars, we've got the neighborhood. We really do. We've created such a nice life for ourselves, but it's a rat race, and that is what is, I think, killing the soul. And that's the reason. That's the big reason for the change. We would rather have. I gotta get back inside. It's cold. We'd rather have time to spend with the daughter. We'd rather have time to go to the spa. We'd rather have a weekend that's open. Granted, the business that I've set up is less demanding. I've put in infrastructure, and it's easier business than tax and accounting, which is the business that both my wife and I used to own. We used to own 43 locations of Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, and we also used to own a couple home instead senior cares. And since then, we've sold them and bought other CPA firms and a facility management firm. And the facility management firm has afforded me the more luxury time, and not my wife. So something has got to give, and usually I'm the guy who makes the plan. Hey, you, kiddo. What are you doing up there? You're saying hi to the puppies? What are the puppies doing? Puppies, what you doing? What you doing, little puppies? Those are our dogs. We got to figure out a pet-friendly place for them. So, and I don't know that Thailand's too friendly. So we're unsure, it's so hot. We're unsure if we're going to have family watch them and help watch them while we're gone. But look, there's a lot that we need to figure out, including all this crap that we have, right? Like we got a 5-bedroom house full of crap. We don't know when we're going to sell the house. We're talking about selling it sooner to start downsizing. But also it's paid off. So it's like we don't have a mortgage, and then we'll have to pay for rent. How agile do we want to be? All these things. These are things that I'm going to talk about in this channel. So subscribe. Here we go. Oh, can't forget. The kiddo wants to say hi and bye. Oh, come on up here. What are you doing, baby? Whoa. Huh?
You're a big balloon.
I'm a big balloon? Okay. All right. You're a little balloon. You're a little balloon. You're a little balloon. Say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.